Welcome to India Today SoSouth. I am Preeja Arvind. Today, I am here to discuss the larger ramifications of Pinarayi Vijayan attending a Jacobite faction celebrations. In the midst of Kerala's political parties vying for minority support, Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan may have just stepped into a political minefield. The Chief Minister, attending the Jacobite Syrian Christian Church's Golden Jubilee celebrations, has irked the Malankara Syrian Orthodox Church. The Syrian Orthodox Church has called out Pinarayi Vijayan for attending a rival factions program and said that it was undemocratic and unlawful. To discuss the larger ramifications of this latest development, I am joined by Kerala political analyst and popular Malayalam YouTuber Advocate Jayshankar. Welcome, Mr. Jayshankar. What do you think is the political strategy or the larger ramifications of Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan having attended this Jacobite factions celebrations?
I don't think anything significant will come out of this because this infighting within the ranks of the Malankara Orthodox Church has a century-old history. The split was occurred as early as in 1912. The infighting was even started even prior to that. So there were a number of court litigations, and the Supreme Court verdict was completely one-sided. The Orthodox faction won the litigation. Now they are they are endeavoring to enforce the court judgment. And ever so many churches have already been taken possession by these people. Certainly, it has caused a gross injustice as far as the other faction is concerned, that the Jacobite faction is concerned. They lost many prestigious churches, having larger following also. 95% of the local laity are with the Jacobite faction, as far as the Piravam Church is concerned. So also is the Muladurthi Church. Now they are aiming the Kodamagalam Cheriyapalli, that is the maybe the largest church with this faction, and also aiming the Manargada Church, so having larger following with the Jacobite faction. Now these people are very desperate. Jacobite side is desperate. They are endeavoring all possible means, and a committee was constituted under eminent jurist, former Supreme Court Judge, Sri Justice K.T. Thomas, and he framed a draft Church Act that is yet to be enforced. That it should be passed by the Kerala legislature. Then only it may be having any legal validity. So these people are pressing for a Church Act so as to save what all churches are already with them, not with the parted churches. Now the difficulty with the Orthodox Church, they are insisting for a pound of flesh in Shylokian terms. So it's a fight between the Christian groups. And in fact, there is no ideological differences. There is only with respect to the money and influence and other things. Essentially temporal matters, not spiritual. So this is the factual scenario. But how can the government interfere and how long, and to what extent? That is a real issue. Politically, both these communities owe their political allegiance to the Congress party. Traditionally, they are Congress voters. They are UDF voters. And as a fraction of the Jacob group is close to the CPM leadership also. As far as all the Christian groups are concerned, they are the most they are the nearest group to the CPM and the communist parties. But the government cannot interfere with the matter because the other fraction will be diametrically antagonistic. That is a difficulty with them. I don't think the chief minister is really interested to interfere with the matter. For the momentary impulse or so, he made a very vague and imprecise statement, so that he gave false hope to the Jacobite faction. The other faction is more influential, more rich, and having huge influence over the people. so that they will not give up their fight. They will fight unto the last. That is the present situation as I realize.
Okay, taking off from it, you said Pinarayi Vijayan was giving just a little bit of a lip service to the Jacobite faction, but there must have been some larger political strategy behind him having not just attended it, but also made some very veiled comments about some religious traitors and such fact statements such as there are these dissenters that have been talking about creating the communal disharmony. So, what do you think is the political strategy behind him attending this? Because it has been a while since the fight between the Orthodox and the Jacobite faction has happened in a while.
He is, in fact, giving false hope to this Jacobite faction. I don't know whether he is serious or not. He may not be serious. And interference by the government is very limited. And the present government is not having the political strategy to do so. And by doing so, he may be alienating a good number of believers from the other faction also. And they are wielding more influence. They are richer by in every sense, and uh, they are having the Supreme Court verdict also in their favor. I don't think the present ruling coalition and the government is having the political will to implement their stand. This is only giving a false hope to these people.
So, coming back to the next question, what do you think will be the larger political ramifications, especially when you look at the Kerala's seats or Kerala's parliamentary seats, especially when it is coming to the Lok Sabha elections? This particular incident where I went and attended this Jacobite faction, do you think there will be any political ramification in the larger CA scheme of things, especially in the Lok Sabha elections, in the coming Lok Sabha elections?
As far as the Lok Sabha elections are concerned, this issue may not be having any very serious repercussion because the influence of these particular groups, these churches, Jacobite as well as Orthodox churches, are shattered in various constituencies, including Chalakudi, that is my home constituency, then Idiki, then Kottayam and Pathanamthitta. As far as these constituencies are concerned, their presence is somewhat relevant. But this faction by itself may not make much difference because other communities are also there, predominantly Hindu, then other Christians group as well as just like Mardoma Church and Syrian Catholic Church and the Latin Catholic Church. So that this may not have any serious repercussion as far as the Lok Sabha election is concerned. But when we come to the assembly election, the picture will be very different because there are strongholds of both sides in various areas. As far as Ernakulam district is concerned, that is predominantly Jacobite. And when Pathanamthitta and Kottayam districts are concerned, that will be the Orthodox Church is having an upper hand. And they have proved to be very influential in previous elections as well. There is one more important aspect. Our health minister, Mrs. Veena George, belongs to this Orthodox Church, and she is having the blessings of the Catholicos and other bishops of the church. And she is, in fact, a representative of the church, not of his party. Though she had contested in the symbol Amar, Sickle, and Star, her allegiance is to the Orthodox Church and not to the party. She is a newcomer as far as the party is concerned. She was a news anchor with Elsewhere India Vision, a television channel. She entered politics very recently and she was introduced as a representative of the church and the clergyman very vigorously campaigned for her as a representative of our church. She is a daughter of our church and she should be elected so as to wreak vengeance on the other faction. That was the slogan of this clergyman. And she was elected from the Aramula constituency, where these groups are having very wide influence. And she was elected as a representative of the church and not of the party. I don't know how far she can continue as a member of the cabinet as well as a member of the legislative assembly in case this government is making any defiant stand against your church.
Sir, do you think the LDF is already strategizing to fill the gap that has been presented by the death of P.T. Thomas as well as Uman Chandi?
There is a vacuum among the leaders from the Christian community. That is altogether a different issue as far as the Christians are concerned. The towering political personality was not Upajadi or P.T. Thomas. That was K.M. Mani. He died rather 5 years ago. During the just before the last parliament election, he passed away. So after that, there is a vacuum among the leaders from the Christian community, especially in UDF. As far as LDF is concerned, there was no Christian leader worth the name. There are members of the Christian community, but they are not having any influence over the members of the community. And there is that's a larger issue I am speaking, not confining to the infighting within the Malankara Church. There is a general feeling among the members of the Christian community that the UDF and the Congress are not representing their community any further. That is a difficult. There is an orphaned feeling. And the LDF is endeavoring to capitalize this. And even the BJP is endeavoring. BJP is having influence nowadays among the members of the Christian community for various other reasons, ranging from the mobbings occurred in the Colombo Church rather 5 years ago, and Hagia Sophia, and reservation, and love jihad, narcotic jihad, and ever so many existing and imaginary issues. That is there. And anti-Muslim feeling is rampant among the members of the Christian community nowadays. It was not like that previously. Now that feeling is there, and BJP is endeavoring to capitalize that. They are having their strategy. Very recently, Mr. PC George joined BJP, and previously our Tom Vadakan joined, and even Anil Antony, son of A.K. Antony, joined BJP. They are enticing various members, influential members of Christian community to their party. That is one thing happening. In the meantime, the CPI Marxist is also trying their best to woo the feelings of the Christian community by various methods. I don't know how far they will be successful because the members of the Christian community are more envical towards CPM than to BJP. They may be having some soft corner towards BJP than to CPM. But one thing is very clear that the Congress and the UDF are losing their ground. And as far as Kerala is concerned, Congress and the UDF are mainly backed by Christians and Muslims. The minority-centered politics is there. They are losing their ground. That is why they defeated they suffered a defeat in the last assembly elections. Otherwise, they would have won. They lost their support among the rank and file of the Christian community and other communities as well, but the Christian community distanced themselves from UDF. That was the real reason for their defeat. So that is a larger issue when we come to when we are discussing with the Christian politics.
So, sir, coming back to what you said, taking off from where you said, if the Congress has already lost the faith among the Christian community, because as you said, the minority politics were there, as well as the Christian community was traditionally in support of Congress. Would the same thing also translate into the Lok Sabha elections as well? Do you think that out of the 19 seats in the coming Lok Sabha elections, Congress might actually lose more?
Congress may be losing 2 or 3 seats. That may not be because of this. The communal polarization may not work in the Lok Sabha election because it's a larger constituency, larger population, large electorate, and the All India moods. That is, these are and the existence of any wave or anything like that. That may be different. But as far as the Kerala government is concerned, they are lost their credibility to a great extent. CPM and even the members of CPM may not vote for their candidates because of the misgivings given by the governance of the party. So that I don't think the UDF or Congress may suffer a setback in the Lok Sabha election. Not only that, the Lok Sabha elections are essentially fought between Congress and BJP, not between Congress and CPM. CPM is not a very significant factor as well as the Lok Sabha elections are concerned. Therefore, they may come victorious because to 14 to 15 seats, this UDF may be.
Thank you so much for your time with us, sir.